I'm going to give a little background. I think everybody in here that I know knows what a pigweed is, but some people I've talked to, how big does a pigweed get? So I want to let everybody know that's a F250. That one on the right there is probably 8 feet tall. So we can grow some pigweed in the Mid-South. But in 2000, we do a lot of custom out work. So in 2007, my spray rig guys were out spraying. Actually went into 2008, had a farmer that called me that we were spraying for. He called and said, "You spray guys, they messed up my field." So I go out there. He's got a field of beans. We just sprayed it with, I think, Roundup, and I can't even remember. It's been so long ago, but Roundup. He had streaks every 30, I think it was every 20 feet across the field. I was like, man, I called my spray rig guy, said, "You think there's any chance you left the Roundup out?" And the guy told me when we were standing there, trying to work through backwards what could happen. He said, "Well, they missed a spot." He said, "I'm tired of those spray guys. They missed a spot in the corner of this field last year." And I thought, So I said, "Any chance you cut that first with your combine last year?" And he said, "Yeah, I went around the edge of the field." And he said, "I got that spot and then I laid it off just like this." I said, "Any chance you got a 16-foot header on your combine?" He said, "Yes, sir." I said, "Take you a Roundup, a backpack sprayer, put some Roundup in it, and you spray them, see what happens." The guy called me back in a week, said, "My beans are dying, but the pigweed look good." And I called Larry and I said, "I think we got a problem." That was 2008. By 2010, this is a county road in Lauderdale County, and I think a lot of things caused what we had, but as you can see, the county's doing a good job spraying Roundup. We got Bermuda grass and pigweed, and that's it. So that's 2010. That's a cotton field across the road there. So, you can see all the seed heads. We're doing a good job. I actually found this picture in Illinois. That's the bracket that holds a lift cylinder of a throat of a combine, and there's a pigweed 6 inches growing in it. So we can carry them anywhere we want to. We're primarily no-till where I'm at, but we got some bottoms. So, had an older farmer. He said, "Well, I can get rid of them. I'm going to disc them up." So he calls me. He disced them up, didn't kill them. We sprayed them with, can't even remember now what we sprayed them with, but should have killed them. So I go out there and I was like, something's going on. So I hit the wrong button. So this much from about right here, you can see the red line. This much is sticking above the ground. You can see it's kind of burnt at the top. Same here. I pull them up. This much is laying 3 inches under the ground. So he disced them under. They went right back to, I don't guess to seed, but they went right back to growing. And needless to say, we couldn't kill them with anything. I don't know what kind of monster we turned them into at this point. One of my biggest cotton farmers, it doesn't look like it by his equipment, actually biggest customer we've got. He said, "Well, I know I can take care of it. I'm going to hook the cultivators back up." He hooked up his cultivators. He called me. The cultivators wouldn't even take the ground. The pigweed were so thick, they're shaking between it. Just didn't have an option at that point. We knew pre-emerge, but started seeing some of this. Any of you, I know a lot of you farm, planter and tractors coming in here. He's turning the pre-emerge off the back of the planter because the tractor's coming in. This is a road, so no prowl, no prowl, no prowl. Because when he turns around, he backs up and turns it on in the ditch and takes off. So, we're back to, this has been several years ago, but I put this in because we got to go back to things we used to do. So Liberty came along, Liberty Link Cotton, that's my pocket knife. Here's the sweet spot for Liberty. Some of these were starting to get too big. Again, try to listen to what Larry tells me. I wanted to spray Liberty. We wanted to put Deal with it because we had to activate a pre-emerge. Liberty is a good chemical when it's 96, 100% humidity, and the sun shines for 3 days. But if it's 89, it's cloudy, and a rain's coming, you're going to miss half of these. And that's what we started running into. I needed the rain to activate the Deal. I didn't need the clouds or the rain for the Liberty. So, I mean, we couldn't have survived without Liberty, but it wasn't 100%. And, you know, at that, it cost a lot of money. So then we ended up with spots like this. You know, part of that field, you can see back here, it's clean. You know, and I've always thought with a herbicide, if I'm 80 to 90% control, I'm doing really good. If I'm 80 to 90% control with pigweed, I've got a train wreck. So then we start chopping. You know, choppers come back out. I mean, we had crews coming through Lauderdale County. By the way, I work Shelby, Lauderdale, Tipton County, and then a little bit right across the river here in Arkansas. So we've got people hiring chopping crews coming through. Because at this point in time, and I mean, we know a lot of people sprayed them, but here, I mean, we're wasting our time. And you know, nobody wanted to pull the hoods anymore. Nobody still wants to pull the hoods. I mean, you know, Roundup got us here. We have mega farmers in my area, you know, because you could farm a lot of acres with a 90-foot boom and 2 or 3 sprayers. You know, we can't go back to that. So we start chopping. I put this next one in here funny. So we're, you know, steady going backwards. Pre-emergence chopping. So, you know, then are we going to go to this? Yeah. That guy was actually picking that cotton 2 years ago in Tipton County. So you know, this is what Larry asked me to cover. I got a lot of friends that work in the industry, so I didn't know what kind of crowd I'd have. I'm very vague. So you've got early season. By early season, you know, we'd like to get this out February and March because, like I said, we're primarily no-till, so not only do I deal with pigweed, you know, we were ground zero for pigweed, you know, we were ground zero for mare's tail. Scott talked about we were ground zero for bollworms. If it's going to become resistant to something, it's going to happen up down the Mississippi River in Tennessee, seems like. So we're early with glyphosate, clethodim, and dicamba, trying to get mare's tail. We're putting the clethodim in there. Again, I'm leaning back on Larry. That's for ryegrass, poana, everything else we got that's resistant. So then we're trying to be, you know, again, we're no-till, so we're trying to be 7 days in front of the planter with Gramoxone, Paraquat and Reflex, and then, you know, right behind the planter with, I did put Caprol in here. I should have put some type of pre and Paraquat again. And you may say, well, you know, 7 days apart with Paraquat. Listen to a corn presentation this morning. Guy said when the corn planter leaves the field, you know, a lot of your yields determined. I want to be clean as I can be. I want to be 100% clean at planting. And what we started seeing, the reason we're going both ways, we used to put the Paraquat, Caprol in front of the planter. We're running row cleaners. 2 weeks after we plant, I got pigweed in the rows because I threw my pre-emerge out with the row cleaner. So then we started, you know, behind the planter. Well, if I went behind the planter, then my row cleaners throwing a little dirt on the pigweed, and I can't kill them behind the planter. So I want to be clean. Then this year, about really probably 21 days after planting, and again, I left this, I'm not putting that in there for generic. I just didn't want to use anybody's name. But I used glyphosate, dicamba, and a pre again. Then where I had to, 10 to 14 days later, then we hit it with a Liberty. Again, trying to do what Larry's telling me. You know, I'm trying to 1-2 punch it. I had to eat a lot of crow. I said dicamba would never be that good of a pigweed material. 1 year. I'm not a university, I'm not a research guy, but the glyphosate, dicamba, and the pre look too good, really, to be honest with you.
Takes heat though.
But
it's got to warm up.
Right. But we did come back because, I mean, we know what kind of train wrecks we can have. We came back with that Liberty. Had one of my very good farmers tell me cleanest cotton crop he'd had since '97, right after Roundup come out. So did a good job with that. This is a field, it's actually in Arkansas. I do not want to let this happen, but we're going to burn this down. 99.9% of those are pigweed. To show you why I've got the Gramoxone pre and post, there it is sprayed. See that green streak? It's 2 green streaks all the way across that field, everywhere the sprayer ran, that's tire tracks. So we had to come back, hit it again. This is 5 days after treatment. You know, Larry and I have joked, you know, most people that I deal with think this is a 2-inch pigweed. We came back and hit those with Liberty. Some of those, it's hard to tell, were 6 or 8 inches. I went out there and saw that. I was scared to death. I called Larry, these are gonna die. You can see they're curled up, they're flat, prostrate to the ground. I split the stalks, they're still green. Pulled them up, they're still green, but.
Is that a May application?
No, that's gonna be June.
Early June?
Yeah, gonna be right at the 1st of June. I mean, we ended up coming back with Liberty, but I don't know that we had to. This field was clean. Like I said, it did too good a job, because I'm scared now he's gonna think, well, I can do that all the time. And I don't think that's probably gonna happen, but I know this is cotton, but I wanted to use this picture. We've got 3 custom applicators where I work. I just listened to Greg's spiel. We made a decision that somebody had to make the call of where we sprayed, what we didn't spray. I wasn't gonna put that on my spray rig guys. So for lack of a better term, I put a badge on the side of my truck and I became the Dicamba police. So I went, every time one of my spray guys thought that there could possibly be a problem, he called. I went and made the call whether or not we sprayed, whether or not we left a buffer, what'd we do? So you can see this is a field of beans. He cut the end off. You see all these pigweed right here. And then you don't see any out here. Same deal. Right here you can see the grass. This is a road, it's a Liberty Link beans on the other side. We left a 110-foot buffer. Just not 110, 90-foot boom, then I had a paved road. So I knew I had enough. We left the buffer because I just felt like that was the thing to do. But the reason this slides in here, you can see how much pigweed pressure I got there. That got 1 shot of Roundup, Dicamba, and a pre, and that's it. Out here, you don't, I mean, there wasn't a...
15s spacing wise?
Yes. There wasn't another pigweed in that field anywhere. And that pressure's not just in that spot that I left the buffer. So again, I mean, it worked. The one thing I've tried to preach to my guys, and that goes back to the pre-emerges and stacking pre-emerges. I write a newsletter every week. When dealing with pigweed, we've got to be proactive, not reactive, because I don't know if Larry's going to show it in his data, but he's measured. I mean, when they're really in their wheelhouse in the Mid-South, they can grow 3 inches a day. So if you're 5 days late getting there with the sprayer, I mean, you missed your opportunity. I think that the Dicamba is really, if we can steward it, if we can do right, I'm gonna go back till we left a buffer. I was the Dicamba police. Those of you that know, if the co-op sprayer is running, we're gonna be the first one that gets blamed for drifting on somebody. Knock on wood, I didn't work one drift complaint also, not one. We sprayed a lot of Dicamba acres, but now I turned down several fields. That field you showed in there a while ago where the Liberty's on both sides, we said we weren't gonna do it. And so we can steward it.
So everything that you sprayed then through the co-op, I mean, you had to have sensitive crops around you in some of those fields, right?
I turned down a lot of fields that we would not spray.
Just because they're adjacent, just flat out row to row?
I mean, some of them might have been a house, some of them might have been a, if you live where you work, Elizabeth lives where she works, Chad lives where you work, you know people. If I knew an elderly lady that was an avid master gardener and she's got tomatoes on the edge of the field, I said, we're not touching that. So.
My in-laws are from Tennessee, but for those of us that aren't from Tennessee, where are you at again, like in regards to, say, Dyersburg or Jackson or something?
I'm
north of here.
We're halfway between, just like here and straight up.
I'm Shelby, which we're in Shelby County. I'm Shelby, Tipton, Lauderdale, which is the 3 counties up this
Straight
river.
up,
Covenant,
yeah.
Tennessee.
From here to Dyersburg.
I'm Dyersburg South is where I work, and then I got, actually, that one field that I showed there's in, right outside of Marion, Arkansas, so.
Todd, I wanted you to touch on, because you're kind of in the middle of glyphosate not being real sketchy on the grasses, Johnson grass, barnyard grass, goose grass. So what are you doing there? Because the extent isn't gonna help us there, in fact, it may make it worse, so.
I mean, right now, and again, I'm going off of him, but he's documented, we got Johnson grass, we got barnyard grass. Again, if it's gonna become resistant to anything, it's happening in Lauderdale, Tipton County. I mean, we're leaning heavily right now on clethodim. I mean, essentially every acre of cotton gets it over the top, every acre of beans gets it over the top. I mean,
Yeah, that's all we got.
that's all I know of right now. I mean, where we have the problem, barnyard grass has literally taken some soybean fields up and down the Loosahatchee River bottom. I mean, we just lost them completely. And, you know, just because sprayed, didn't realize what was going on, you know, you got a farm way off down in the bottom, and it's beans. Yeah, my guy sprayed it, I moved on to something else, and he got there at the combine and said, what happened? Where's all the beans at? And I mean, so.
Where are you scheduling that clethodim application in season for your, we got resistant Johnson grass and all that too, just down here in Mississippi, so.
We're using it at burn down, and then like on the
Using it in crop season too, while
if we have some misses, we'll try to come back and clean some of those up.
again, you gotta come back and get that Johnson grass later.
Right.
So you showed a slide that had, I think it was about 7 different times you sprayed. How much did that cost?
I knew that was gonna come up.
That was cheap.
Compared to,
Yeah,
That's $55 an acre right there.
That's not bad.
And in the Mid-South, I mean, when we're budgeting this time of year, guys want me to work on, I mean, I'm figuring $50 an acre on herbicide cost in cotton and pretty well close to that in soybeans.
You doing 32 on all your Roundup?
Yes, yeah.
You was talking about the clethodim. I'm not saying the co-op did it, but I know some people may have put some clethodim in when they went over the top with that ginger shot, 21 days of plant. I heard they did.
Do we not have some antagonism between clethodim and dicamba?
We have had antagonism with bluegrass. Bluegrass is a big problem for us to burn down. We've had antagonism with dicamba and glyphosate, but no, putting the clethodim in there right now has helped mitigate that. No, we do not have
Doesn't take much. In the early season, it does not take much clethodim.
We're using on that clethodim right there, we're putting 2 ounces of a 3-pound material or 3 ounces of a 2-pound material, because we can still plant corn behind that if we do 10 days. So that early season burn down, we're just running from fence row to fence row with that, whether we're planting corn, cotton, soybeans. We're just trying to jump out there and get that field clean early on, and then we sort of make up our mind after that what we're going to plant where. But if we lose, I mean, for me, barnyard grass, pigweed, that Palmer pigweed definitely drives the bus, but these grasses are second to me, right behind it, especially in soybeans, because I've seen more train wrecks with especially with barnyard grass. I mean, if you've got it where I'm at, it is a big problem. I've seen more train wrecks with that than I have the pigweed for us.
Your Italian ryegrass, you got the resistant treaty, you got the resistant ryegrass.
Yeah, but it's not been, I mean, really, ryegrass is not much of a,
Oh, that's right, see, we can't put that like those clethodim in there, we need all.
Yeah, Mississippi, you
And then when they start quit putting it in there, because it ain't working anymore either.
We don't want any of your ryegrass up here.
No, maybe it floats out.
thank y'all.
Thanks, Todd, appreciate it.